Okay, let's start. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kaushal Barnaval, MCM ICASA. On behalf of entire ICASA team, I welcome you all in today's session. I would like to grab this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to all of those who helped in making this event a success. As said by Steve Jobs, the only way to do great job is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. As the aforesaid statement suggests, we should always be in search of the best opportunity in our career to endure and shine in our life. With this only, we come to our today's topic, that is career opportunities for a chartered accountant. So without further ado, I welcome CA Anurag Singhal sir, our prestigious delegate for today's session. He has done 1 year full-time MBA from IIM Ahmedabad and has more than 12 years of experience. Anurag sir is always there to help budding professionals and is also running a successful YouTube channel for the youth. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you, sir, for your enlightening word. Over to you, Anurag sir.
Thank you, Kaushal. Good evening, everyone. And my objective of this session is to basically give you some understanding of career options that through the prism of my experience that I have seen in the last 12 years and then 3 years of articleship, and I've seen probably like hundreds of cases in terms of how careers span in terms of the overall trajectory. So before we start, I just wanted to understand that in the chat box, if you could tell that what is in terms of at what stage of CA are you, and what are your specific questions from this. So I have not really structured any presentation, etc., because that you will find in abundance on my YouTube channel as well. I wanted to use this channel more as an opportunity to share my views in terms of the overall presentation of CAs and what you could do to improve and etc. So y'all are like Muskan Gupta is CA intermediate, and any specific questions that you have with respect to what are the opportunities? Do you want to also understand about practice? What are the opportunities or job? Okay. I mean, job for CA interqualified, CA Foundation, June 21. Okay, Dhruv, Jyoti is CA intermediate, Arijit Shaw is inter, and CA final, Ankit Sharma, Krishna Agarwal, CA final, both group due in July, finals due in November, Shraddha Agarwal. Okay. Fine. So, arena for CA in competitive exams, entrepreneurship. Okay. Radha has this question. All right. So basically, I will start with Dhrupat. Dhrupat Upadhyay is also here, is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So you have any specific questions, all of you? Is there any scope in civil service of chartered? Of course, there is a lot of scope. Okay, we can cover that. So I'll take this answer only first. With softwares to learn, opportunities in investment field. Okay. Jyoti has this question. What are the opportunities in the investment field? Okay. So if you look at, a typical chartered accountant, once you graduate as a chartered accountant, from the hallowed portals of the CA Institute, there are various career trajectories that can happen. So one, you can choose to get into your own practice, and the other option is to get into a job. So if you look at, for example, the specifics of a particular job, okay. So what happens is that in practice, vis-a-vis job, the difference that will be there, you are able to see my screen. Yeah. So if you look at, first of all, the first decision that someone needs to make in terms of practice versus job is the initial or the startup period. So what happens in job after CA is that in all probability, you will get like a 50,000 rupees per month kind of a job. So the salary metrics here will range. Now, earlier it was like 3 lakhs per annum, but what has happened is that with the so many KPOs that have set up shop, even in cities like Kolkata, where there were otherwise not so many jobs, still, you able to hear me? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. You are audible.
And you can see the screen, right?
Sure, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now with, for example, in Calcutta, so there are a lot of people who are besotted by the idea of doing a job in specifically in Kolkata. So in Kolkata, earlier there was a very sad story in terms of the job market once you did not have the large corporates. So maybe CA firms were giving just 20-25,000 per month, and people had to settle for that. But now what has happened is that with the advent of PwC, SDC, as well as now EY, GDS has come, slowly Deloitte USI is also setting up shop in the near future. Then what is happening is that the base level for a chartered accountant salary has been now reset to at least 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs. That is a kind of range which is becoming the minimum norm in even in cities like Calcutta, which were otherwise not very famous for good jobs. Okay. Now, how you grow subsequently from that 6 to 8 lakhs per annum is a very different story. There's a lot of other aspects involved. But starting salary from 3.5 lakhs, it has that base would ideally be now reset at like 6.5 lakhs. Even if you look at campus and you go to jobs like retail credit in ICICI Bank, where they will recruit something like 50-60 chartered accountants every term. So they will also pay something like 6.5 lakhs, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. And then Big Four also, the minimum salaries are somewhere around 7.5 lakhs to 8 lakhs. So you see that kind of a base has now been set where most chartered accountants worth their grain of salt will be able to get placed at that number. However, the challenge is, as you would be aware, is that the market puts a lot of premium on number of attempts. And that is something which is really very disturbing, because eventually everyone who graduates as a chartered accountant gets this degree has undergone that exam. And maybe someone who has cleared in multiple attempts would have rather worked all the more hard to get that degree. So in terms of strength of character, that perseverance, he is in fact even better. However, we really cannot do anything about that. So maybe, after 4-5 attempts, the job market scenario will become slightly different for the first job. Now, so opportunities are, let's say, in Big Four in terms of accounting, in auditing, in taxation, in India practice, in offshore practice. There are opportunities which are there in banking. So HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Yes Bank, State Bank of India. So State Bank of India and all. The admin will have an option to mute everyone, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm asking the admin to mute everyone else.
Yeah. So if you look at that, yeah. So that is one option. Big Four is an option. Offshore is an option. Then industry, most industries, for example, an Aditya Birla Group or a Vedanta or a Tata Steel or a Hindalco. So that kind of multiple jobs that are there will again start life at 8 lakhs, 9 lakhs, 9.5 lakhs, that kind of a range. Okay. And then if you move up the pyramid further, so there will be these companies which are slightly MNC in nature, which will pay like 14-15 lakhs per annum also. In terms of not the Indian companies, but the MNC companies, they will be far more discriminating in terms of what kind of people that they want. So maybe the filter will be like a big four articleship. So there'll be like a chocolate company called Mars or a Ferrero Rocher, or maybe a Godrej consumer, which will pay that kind of salaries to a CA in the 14 lakhs, 15 lakhs kind of a range. And then if you further move up, like ITC has, even the last number which I know of ITC would be like 23, 24 lakhs, but I think that has also now been further revised. So in the FMCG space in industry, they are the best paymasters. So companies like ITC, and then Marico would pay like 30 lakhs to a chartered accountant. You will have Procter and Gamble paying that salary. HUL will pay like 26 lakh rupees, etc. So that is one thing. Then JP Morgan mid office in investment banking, they will normally take chartered accountants. But again, they will be very, very selective in terms of that. So that will pay around 15, 17 lakhs per annum. Now, one very specific area where I get a lot of queries around people wanting to join is investment banking and venture capital and private equity. So that investment part of things, or in terms of equity research. So some people are very, very hungo about becoming sell-side analyst in a ICICI Securities or an HDFC Securities or a Citi or a CLSA, or some people want to join mutual funds. So I was recently talking to a chartered accountant who works like in SBI mutual fund and works in the area of ESG. Like nowadays, there's this latest trend in environment, sustainability and governance, where you pick up specific stocks which adhere to the ESG strategy, and only then those companies are selected. So can really chartered accountants get into management consulting like a McKinsey or a BCG? So those are the questions that a lot of people keep asking me. And the answer here is that there is no specific path with the help of which you can get into investments or investment banking and all. Multiple paths. So for example, if you have a rank in CA final, you can get into McKinsey or you can get into BCG. So for example, if you will see my channel, I had interviewed a guy called they uh, D Toshniwal, his name is. Yeah. So he is now in Warburg Pincus, Singapore. He's a chartered accountant from Calcutta. Okay. So Tosh, yeah, just a minute. Devang Toshniwal. So if you look at, I had interviewed this person. So he's like a chartered accountant. So did his articleship from PwC, got a rank in CA final. So after that, he joined Boston Consulting Group, BCG. And after a couple of years there, he's joined Warburg Pincus. And that is very exciting in terms of you really do like 5,000, 6,000 crores kind of investment in a company. So that is the kind of arena at which you are operating. That is a field which a lot of people want to join now, or investment banking or venture capital. The path there is like maybe you can start up with a boutique firm, a small size Indian firm. And then once you are becoming an industry expert, so for example, even KPMG or a PwC will have a due diligence practice, financial due diligence or a valuation practice. And from there, you build your connects and get into investment banking or private equity. Or maybe equity research, you can start off with an Indian homegrown firm like an Angel Broking or an Edelweiss. So that will always be very sector specific. You will become like a analyst for sugar sector for BNK Security. So you will do the mapping of the whole sugar sector in India. So from that perspective, that is one area where you can actually start yourself. And so that is one thing. In terms of industry, so what we said was that in investment banking, private equity, venture capital, but do not get really besotted by that idea that, oh, I should get only those fields, because that even less than 0.1% of chartered accountants who become freshers will get those kind of fields, because those kind of industries operate with very, very limited number of people. Where are the bulk hiring happening? Bulk hiring is happening in Big Four. Now within Big Four, it is always good to go for instead of statutory audit. So statutory audit is something which you like, it's very good. Or otherwise you can, even if it taxation is your liking or even financial due diligence is your liking, you can look at that. Or industry, where you will get a bulk of roles like accounting or taxation or financial planning, etc., or a combined role at companies like Infosys, at Wipro, etc. Or then you can look at product control, for example. If you see, I have again created a separate video on product control. A lot of you will get jobs in places like Goldman Sachs Bangalore, or a Deutsche Bank Bangalore, or a Morgan Stanley. Essentially what you are doing is product control. So a lot of people will have curiosity to know what is exactly product control. So in the interest of time, I will not consider that here, but the thing is that that becomes a very big opportunity for chartered accountants in the area of product control, etc. Some people get into very specific fields like SAP advisory, technology consulting. So for example, there is a client which wants to implement SAP HANA. So you on behalf of PwC will assist the client in that implementation. So while you continue to remain chartered accountant, you will have some specific ideas, specific domain expertise about SAP, and that is how you will implement that. So that is one field which a lot of people nowadays like. Now that is a very specific field, by the way. So there was one question about can chartered accountants enter into civil services? So of course, there are various patterns in which you can enter. One is that the traditional classic UPSC route where you can become an IAS or an IPS officer. Chartered accountant would be specially be in demand as an IRS officer, like an income tax domain officer. So for that, you need to crack the traditional UPSC exam, which becomes like one of the most competitive exams in the country. Or chartered accountant, if you would have seen, I had taken an interview of a guy called Harsh Joshi. So he's a chartered accountant from 2011 batch. He appeared for UPSC, couldn't clear. Then he, through the CAG, Controller and Auditor General, you get a chance to become part of the Controller and Auditor General's audit team. So you will be auditing various public sector enterprises as a CAG team part. So for various occasions, he had worked there. Then he had also become a SBI probationary officer. So even after chartered accountancy, with the kind of salaries which SBI pays to a probationary officer, there is no harm competing with graduates and becoming a probationary officer. And then there is, if you would have seen, ultimately what Harsh Joshi has joined is there is something called ICOS, Indian Cost Accounting Administrative Services. So that is a service of the Ministry of Finance, Government of India, which is available exclusively only for chartered accountants and cost accountants. You
Sir,
do not.
Sir, please repeat again the last.
ICOAS, Indian Cost Accounting. ICOS is the thing. So I'll just tell you the full form for that. Yeah, Indian Cost Account Services, ICOS. So on my channel, if you see, there is a person called Harsh Joshi whom I've interviewed. So he has recently joined the Ministry of Finance as an assistant director, and that's a very big thing for a chartered accountant to get that kind of a coveted job. So what will his job eventually be? His job will be to audit from a financial perspective, not just an audit, but from a financial perspective, he will, let's say, go to an Indian Oil Corporation and be deputed to as the finance director of Indian Oil over a period of time, or he'll be in the Ministry of Finance in Delhi and look at how Coal India is performing, etc. So that will be a good thing to do. And so in terms of civil services, that is the piece that either UPSC or Controller and Auditor General or the banks exams like SBI, PO and all, or you can get into things like ICOS, Indian Cost Accounting Services. You can appear for RBI exams and you can become a grade B officer in RBI. That's also very prestigious job in the government sector. And chartered accountants, once you get the basic degree of chartered accountancy, you are welcome everywhere because you are viewed as one of the toughest people in the country in terms of your academic perseverance, in terms of your ability to handle stress, in terms of your ability to do detailed working, etc., etc. So from that perspective, chartered accountants would be greatly in demand. So that was one question that someone had asked me about civil services. Then how we can there's a question from Amit, how we can enter in private equity after CA. So if you look at my interview with Devang Toshniwal, so he's a chartered accountant only, but the thing is that These kind of fields like private equity will be specifically reserved for chartered accountants who have got ranks, who get into like a Boston Consulting Group, and then after a couple of years there will move into private equity. There's another guy called Divyansh Jain, again SRCC. He has not done his articleship from a Big Four. He was All India 10th in CA final. He again joined BCG, and from there he has joined BlackRock, I suppose, in their private equity space. So that is how the answer is. So private equity, again, you can also join through like as a chartered accountant. You will get into financial due diligence practice or a transaction advisory services of Big Four, where you will assist private equity companies to do due diligence of their prospective investee companies. So from that, you will get the idea of to how you will get into that field. So, you know, because it's just about relationships, eventually you will start knowing people in the industry, and then one day they will say, okay, hey, you can join us. You know, what happens is that let's say you join an early stage startup after CA. So in that case, what happens is those people really want to, so for example, you've been part of, you know, at early stage venture, maybe a 50 crore kind of a startup, and you work there as a finance controller, as a chartered accountant. That experience is going to be very, very valuable for people once you want to apply to a private equity, because you know what happens is that after private equity invest in specific companies, they want someone to monitor the performance of those companies. So if you are a CA, you have already worked in a startup for 2-3 years, got that complete exposure, then if you plunge into as a private equity, you will be able to do justice also to their work there. So that is one question. Now Dhruv has a question: pursuing LLB or MBA. So see, CA plus LLB becomes a very good combination if you want to get into practice, or you have a very, very strong fascination for corporate law. Now, if you were to pursue LLB, the best method would have been to actually give CLAT after class 12 and enter the national law universities. The second option probably again after CA will be to do an LLB, because what happens is that unless you are an LLB, you cannot do litigation on behalf of your client at the high court level. So even if it is like a LLB from an XYZ college, as long as the degree is LLB, you will be eventually be able to wear the gown and appear in the high court. So if practice is your larger calling, if you know that, yes, I want to make a career in, for example, in taxation, in litigation, then CA plus LLB makes perfect sense. If you want to join corporate as a CA plus LLB, becomes slightly difficult because, you know, you will be really competing with someone who is like a pure play LLB. So specialization law is something which is not very generic in practical. What happens is that as a chartered accountant, you can join, let's say, Khaitan and Company or an Amarchand Mangal Das, and you can work on law, and in the process also maybe start doing LLB. MBA, and I've created a lot of videos around MBA. MBA can be really a game changer after CA, and there are maybe 100 plus people every year who do MBA from the top 6 IIMs who are chartered accountants. Because once you are CA and you have done MBA, so the various gaps in your personality in terms of what CA would not have given to you, because it is at the end of the day a distance learning course, is that what will be given to you by MBA. So CA plus MBA will work as a very powerful combination and help you get into a lot of places which you would have otherwise not got, because the best of the best come on campus. Now, one question is capital market and accounting advisory services in PwC SDC. So there's a question from Avir. So this is a direct message to me. So capital market and accounting advisory services is a very, very flourishing practice in PwC Acceleration Center in Kolkata. Essentially, what you are doing is that you are making the pitch book for PwC M&A team in US or PwC M&A team in Australia. So maybe they are working on a direct deal with the client. So the financial model or maybe the due diligence pitch deck, etc., will be outsourced to India. So maybe there is then accounting advisory. There will be a company which is planning to do a NASDAQ listing, which is the New York Stock Exchange or a NASDAQ. So how do you help them in their accounting? So that is the question which Avir has given. Then Jyoti Keshri has a question: CA or CFA or FRM plus CA combination? It's a useless combination basically. FRM is a very specialized thing, very quant oriented. A lot of people feel that if they do FRM, it will be like उनके career को चार चांद लग जाएंगे, but ऐसा नहीं होता है. CFA is a good degree to have, but doing CFA, one should have realistic expectation. So I find a lot of people who are compromising on the quality of their CA education. Maybe they could have become rank holders in CA. Instead, by doing CA and CFA, they are kind of mixing it up. That should not happen. CFA per se will not get you investment banking or equity research jobs. It is good to have CFA if you want to enter the world of investment. But please remember that there are thousands of CFAs already in India. And you can ask that they might not really have had the best of career paths in terms of the additional advantage that you will get because of a CFA. Having said that, some people, for example, HSBC KPO in Salt Lake in Kolkata, recruited one of my juniors recently because he was a chartered accountant plus CFA L2. So the specific of that role was that they wanted level 2 cleared candidate along with chartered accountant. So there are a lot of KPOs in India which will require CFA because internationally, like CFA is the gold standard in terms of financial practices. But don't compromise on CA because of CFA. And if you are running short of money at this stage of time, CFA can wait. You can do it later also. I mean, you do not need to sell your kidneys to do CFA. So that is one question. Now, another question is, sir, after qualifying CA, should one go to Graduate Institute of Insolvency Professionals Institute? And is it better to take some years and appear for limited insolvency exam and become? See, the GIP course, the advantage is that there is a lot of good campus placement, a lot of good internships. So this is a question from Abhijit Seth. So there's a very small batch size. You get campus life, which you are missing in your CA course. And the fees, because it is driven by the ministry only, it is not very high, although not very low also. So from that perspective, you can but after CA also, you can also think of doing an MBA for, and let's say even if money is the challenge, you can try to get into, let's say, FMS, Faculty of Management Studies. In 4 lakh rupees, you will get your MBA complete. But yeah, it's difficult to get into FMS, but that is there. Now, Avirup has a question: CA plus CPA as a combination. So CA plus CPA as a combination. What is the objective, Avirup, that you have? Why do you means if you want to settle abroad? So there are two objectives here. A, that after CA and CPA, you want to get abroad. Now, if you want to go abroad, what happens is that if you want to get a permanent residence and get into Canada, you need to get a PR there, permanent residence. And subsequently in Canada, they will require CPA Canada, not CPA US. If you have CPA US, you can get a job in CPA in US, but the challenge is who will sponsor your work visa. So maybe you can marry someone who's already settled in US, go on a dependent visa, and then start searching for a job there, and eventually you will get settled there. So problem with CPA giving you jobs abroad is what I outlined right now. In India, all these big 4 KPOs that are there, Deloitte, PwC, EY, KPMG, or let's say a Morgan Stanley or a Citibank, all of this. So recently I created a video on KPOs, all the major KPOs that are there in India. There, CPA will give you a good advantage because you are working on US related matters. If you're already with the CPA degree, you will be helpful. That will be quite good. So now Sharanya has a question: what can be the job roles for a CA other than auditing and taxation? Oh, there are so many job roles. So auditing and taxation are the most conventional jobs and very safe also in terms of these lines are always going to remain. But nowadays, a lot of good roles are coming. So apart from the cream profiles that I spoke, like financial planning analysis, FP&A, or valuation for that matter, are very interesting fields for a chartered accountant. And those jobs are available in abundance. So for example, doing FP&A at a PepsiCo, or doing a business partnering role at a Coca-Cola, or becoming a regional commercial manager at a Godrej Consumer. Those are a lot of roles that are very rewarding in terms of money also. So look at like Asian Paints. Asian Paints will give you upwards of 25 lakh rupees for any role that they hire, irrespective of your past salary. And 25 lakh rupees per annum is a very good salary at the age of 24, 25. So from that perspective, it is good to look at that kind of roles also. Then Somadeep Adak has a question. Sir, what are the other courses along with CA for a startup business opportunity in finance? So if the question, if I understood it correctly, if it is like you want to get into a startup and work in the finance domain, a good CA alone is good enough. So there is no requirement of any other course. Yes, if you can learn financial modeling as a skill set, in that case, what will happen is that the startup that you join, once they pitch for the next round of funding, there it will be very helpful that you have a financial modeling experience also, maybe even some basic thing. But otherwise, as a CA degree, you are good to go for any kind of a startup, whether it's a mature startup or an early stage startup. Doesn't really happen, doesn't really make any difference. Okay, so that is one question. So does financial, okay, there's a question up from Jyoti. Can you explain about industrial training? So I had done my industrial training from ITC way back 2007, 2008. ITC industrial training is still available to a lot of people in Calcutta. Like this space continues to be one of the hottest opportunities. A lot of people are nowadays going to Bombay also, like Unilever, Procter and Gamble, or a Goldman Sachs in Bangalore, a Credit Suisse in Pune, or Mondelez in Bombay. A lot of those places, they are doing the industrial training. The advantage of an industrial training is if your articleship has not been from a very great firm, with the help of industrial training, that brand recognition on your CV becomes very strong. So even if you do your industrial training from, let's say, an Indian Oil Corporation or a Hindustan Petroleum or a Bharat Petroleum, because I am saying this because they also take a lot of chartered accountant industrial trainees, your CV from a branding perspective becomes strong. The work which people will make an industrial training do is not very great as such. Most of the people are going to use you as a short-term resource, and look at it from that perspective that I am the manager of a company. In a company, you have come here just for 9 months, so I really cannot make you an integral part of my company also. So from that perspective, you will get some random tasks only, but the larger objective is to get a good stipend of 15,000-20,000 per month, get good branding, and maybe get an option to get a placement opportunity at that company once you clear CA. So that becomes at least one good area for you. So if you are like in ITC, you're doing an industrial training and subsequently they absorb you on the basis of your work once you clear CA, it will be a very good option. So then there is a question from Ankit. Does financial modeling act as an add-on in service? Yes, of course, financial modeling. Now see, financial modeling, there are people who take like 30,000-40,000 rupees also for financial modeling course. I will not recommend you to spend that kind of money. Maybe you go to Udemy and there are these courses at 500-600 rupees. Maybe you can check one of the courses, which I also have, 5-6 hours of courses. Get a good basic understanding. Once you start learning financial modeling on the job, you will get better and better at it. I mean, just spending thousands of rupees on a course does not make a lot of sense. Then Parvesh has a question. Foreign countries have ICI links. With which organizations can you work with? As such, there is no this ICI link and all is, I'm not sure how much that works. In the Middle East, ICI is very, very highly recognized. So places like Dubai, Qatar, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. Now, I will not really recommend people to go to Saudi Arabia and all, because it becomes a bit of an extremist country. But places like Dubai and all, or Abu Dhabi, chartered accountants have a very, very high recognition. So most of the senior finance professional in the entire Middle East are chartered accountants. There are a lot of chartered accountants who do very well in places like Hong Kong, in Singapore, US, Canada, Australia, UK. So there are people, so let's say you join KPMG in Calcutta. and eventually on secondment you are sent to KPMG UK, and there secondment means like a 1 year assignment or a 2 year assignment, and if they like you, they will absorb you in UK. So those are various places with the help of which you can go. Then DHR has this question: your IMA experience and what are the qualities required in a candidate to get into top IIMs. So there are two methods to get into IIMs. One is the 2 year MBA through the CAT. The other is the 1 year MBA through GMAT. That is after gaining like 4-5 years of work ex. The experience is fantabulous. You get a lot of learning into those areas which you may not have necessarily become good at in course of CA. So for example, subjects like strategy and marketing, human resource, logistics. So these are only Latin and Greek to us as far as the CA course is concerned. And whatever little that we study also in terms of balanced scorecard or just in time is more theoretical. We have to mug up a lot of stuff and vomit it on the paper. But there, because of the case study method, whether you go to IIMs or you go to ISB and all, your thinking becomes far more focused. That perspective becomes there. So that is there. But we are done with the questions. I think I have explained a lot. Yeah. Softwares which will help in the job apart from SAP, Excel, Word, PPT. Yeah, nothing else. Nowadays, Power BI has become very important for everyone to learn, Krishna. So Power BI and Visual Basic, you should learn. If you are really good at these, or software like Tableau, which are good for financial reporting, and a lot of work is now getting automated. So things like robot process automation, if you have an idea that how can you write a script which can do a reconciliation which people were otherwise doing manually, that will be a very fantastic thing. Then
Sir, Power VIM.
BI, business intelligence, Power Business Intelligence. You can search, it's a product of Microsoft, Power BI, and now that's in great demand. But those are not going to be game changers in terms of your career. The biggest thing that you will need to have is your CA degree. Once you have the CA degree, once you join a corporate, on the job, you can learn a lot of things. So nowadays, the trend which I see in people is that they are very, very confused in terms of, okay, I am doing my CA, chalo CA to I am doing, but so many other people are doing. But how do I get a competitive advantage so that I will be the one who will get the job? So that as such is not the criteria. By doing some add-on courses, you are not really making yourself more competitive in the job market. More or less, it remains the same only. Then that's it in terms of questions. Now I wanted to do a bit of this on practice. So a lot of you will want to eventually get into practice because job may not necessarily be everyone's cup of tea. And today, in terms of practice, there are a lot of opportunities in specific areas where there is, let's say, technology at play in GST. You can, so for example, one of my friends after his CA, he has created a GST software which will help banks in the reconciliation of GSTR 2A with GSTR 1 in terms of the input credit. And he spent 2 crore rupees to develop that software. And now various banks use that on a monthly payment basis, like software as a service. So after CA, you can always use that also as a very good option in terms of practice, like getting into the software line. Like Tally, a lot of companies will want to implement Tally ERP. So that can be a very specialized area of practice. After CA, you can get into insolvency resolution professional practice. So you can join, let's say, the Big Four, the Grant Thornton kind of firms, get an exposure of IRP as a practice. After a few years, you yourself will qualify to become a registered insolvency professional, registered valuer. And then those are the areas where you can really thrive. Even basic activities like, they are not so glamorous, maybe, doing the statutory audit and the accounting and all. But end of the day, remember that they are very safe jobs. That COVID, no COVID, eventually maybe couple of months here or there, companies are going to file their returns. They are going to prepare their accounts. if they are listed, they will make their disclosures to the stock exchanges. So even the traditional accounting and auditing line is a very safe line in terms of also work-life balance, etc. And now the scope to do a lot of automation there with robot process automation, Power BI and Tableau and all. You can start a practice where you're helping small and medium enterprises set up their budgeting practices. So you will find that a lot of companies in the 100-200 crore range, they do not have any methodology whatsoever to get into practice. So from that perspective, that will be good. So accounting, audit, taxation, software, financial planning analysis, like a virtual CFO services are nowadays very much in vogue. So you can actually become CFO of one specific company. The other option is to do a practice where there is a small company which cannot afford a full-time CFO. So what instead they will do is they will hire you at, let's say, 1 lakh rupees per month or 60,000 rupees per month, where they will have their own accounting and finance team, but you will visit their company every week for 2 days and see whether things are in order and take up strategic activities and move forward. So that becomes a very good extension of the traditional CA practice. Nowadays, a lot of people also learn QuickBooks and they start doing offshore accounting. So maybe there are people in Australia, in UK, in US. They outsource their accounting to India at $6 per hour, $7 per hour. So that kind of work also you can do in India. So those are the things that you can do. Okay. And so practice, the only challenge is maybe first 2-3 years you will not earn as much salary as your other friends who might join jobs. So they might not get, you might not get that kind of salaries, but which is fair. I mean, if you think of it from a long-term perspective, you are eventually your own owner in terms of your destiny. You determine, that's your own brand. You have something for the next generation, etc. And then maybe, even doing job in a good organization for a couple of years. So for example, you work in EY in taxation, or you work in under an accomplished tax lawyer, like for example, DB Desai or Tulsian, or these kind of, even those kind of places have a lot of good work. So I earlier used to think that it is only Big Four, etc., which have a lot of work. That is not the case. Even Indian lawyers have a lot of work. So yes, Shraddha, you can ask the question, no problem.
Sir, actually, I am doing my articleship from DB Desai only, and in the International Taxation Department. So I have specialization in that only. But when I was joining there, I have no idea where I will go or what I have to do in my life. But now I have realized कि मेरे को खुद का office खोलना है. And I don't know anything except international taxation audit. So how can I proceed further to learn statutory audit, tax audit, GST compliances? And क्योंकि like हम लोग के hometown जैसे area में international taxation कुछ काम नहीं आएगा. यहाँ पे normal stat audit, GST compliances ये सभी काम आएंगे. So how should I proceed further to learn all that?
बस वो तो 3-4 महीना 6 महीना कहीं काम करोगे तो एक साइकिल अगर तुम काम करोगे तो you will be able to get that understanding about हमारा होम टाउन जहाँ पे भी होगा, मे बी इफ इट्स अ स्मॉल टाउन आल्सो, बट आज के डेट में उस स्मॉल टाउन में रह के भी यू कैन सर्विस लार्ज टाउन्स आल्सो. तो जो ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग का जो कंप्लायंसेस है, मे बी लार्ज कॉर्पोरेट्स बिग 4 बिग 5 को अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं, बट मेरा एक जन है वो इंटरनेशनल टैक्सेशन में स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस को सर्व करता है. आज के डेट में बहुत सारी कंपनीज हैं जो लेट्स से सिंगापुर में अपना एक एस्टैब्लिशमेंट रखना चाहती है, यूएस से फंड्स आ रहे हैं तो वो लोग सीएफ वहां पे सीधा सिंगापुर में रखना चाहते हैं फ्रॉम अ टैक्स कंप्लायंस पर्सपेक्टिव. तो वो सब प्रैक्टिस भी आप कर सकते हैं. और कोई भी काम देखिए अगर करना है, इट इज ओनली अ मैटर ऑफ 6 months, 8 months, 1 year that you will learn that job if you are sincere. तो वो सोचने का कोई मतलब कोई सेंस ही नहीं है कि अरे भाई बहुत लेट हो गया एंड आई हैव नॉट डन इट एक्सेट्रा। वो तुम्हारा हो जाएगा जितना मतलब इफ यू रियली डिसाइडेड कि हाँ मेरे को वैसे करना है तो देयर बी नो प्रॉब्लम।
तो सर मेरे को लाइक किस टाइप का फर्म में ज्वाइन करना चाहिए, मतलब मेरे को कोई कॉर्पोरेट ज्वाइन करना चाहिए या फिर
कॉर्पोरेट
मिड
ज्वाइन
साइज
करके प्रैक्टिस के लिए कोई फायदा नहीं है। मिड साइज फर्म ज्वाइन करना चाहिए जिसके पास खुद के पास स्मॉल मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस हैं, एसएमईज। तो वहां पे
ओके
तुम
सर, तो कोलकाता में ही आई शुड ज्वाइन और एल्सवेयर?
यू कैन वर्क एनीवेयर दैट यू वांट, दैट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम। कोलकाता में थोड़ा सैचुरेटेड मार्केट है, बट हाँ कलकत्ता में लोगों के पास काम तो अच्छा है ही जिसके पास है। और आजकल लोग जॉब में भी अच्छा सैलरी देने लगे हैं। इवन सीए फर्म्स आर पेइंग लाइक 6 लाख 5 लाख 7 लाख सैलरीज पर एनम। तो काम सीखने के पर्सपेक्टिव से तो यू कैन ज्वाइन। और अगर थोड़ा बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस समझना है तो मे बी गो टू बैंगलोर, गो टू दिल्ली, गो टू बॉम्बे, वहां पे समझो क्या होता है। कलकत्ता का कल्चर देख लिया है, मे बी कोई दूसरा जगह का कल्चर देखोगे तो वो भी पता चल जाएगा। ठीक है, एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस?
No, thank you sir, I got the answer.
Okay. So to sum up, there are a lot of opportunities that are there after chartered accountancy, and maybe for in the interest of time, I have not really touched upon each of them in depth. And I have created some 300, 400 videos only on the theme of career. So for example, Shraddha was talking about transfer pricing. So I had interviewed a Grant Thornton India's head in terms of Fatima Huned. She is the India lead of transfer pricing at Grant Thornton, and she talks about her journey in transfer pricing, how she has evolved, what are the opportunities that are opening in this area, etc. So there you can talk to a lot of people like Nilesh Shah. You can see his interview. He's a chartered accountant, he's a gold medalist and MD of Kotak Mutual Fund, India's largest, one of the largest AMCs. So maybe there, if you see a lot of videos, you will get a further understanding of CA or CA and MBA and what does C and CFA help, etc. And that is how it is. And industry and practice, I think as it comes, it is far better. Like as I saw your profiling, most of you are still students. So at this stage, it might not really be that so much of a priority as right now is to clear CA panel, because from a job perspective, the number of attempts becomes a very important indicator, because otherwise what happens is that there are like 12,000 to 15,000 chartered accountants every term who become CAs. So there what companies do is indiscriminately they just apply the filter of attempts, first attempt, second attempt, third attempt. So from that perspective, it is better कि you clear CA final in the least number of attempts if you want to get into jobs. So that is that. And then one question, is it good to stay for long-term perspective at PwC, SC or any big four? Yes, this practice is only going to grow. Maybe abhi 25 to 30% of only the audit component is being done in India. If you look at PwC, SC, there is a segment called PCS, Private Company Services. There they are doing broadly end-to-end audit in India of the US or the Canada firms. So that is there. And rank salary of a rank holder, again it depends. So for example, there is an Aditya Birla Group finance leadership program. Every time they will take chartered accountants, 5-6 chartered accountants, and that's a very prestigious program. They pay like 18 lakh rupees, 18.5 lakh rupees to a chartered accountant. So that is there. My area of working is I am right now doing a lot of stuff in terms of the job that I am doing financial reporting, Ind AS accounting. I am handling the stat audit, and then investments in mutual funds, and then fundraising, credit rating, investor relations. So those are the various areas in which I'm working, like budgeting, MIS, business partnering, etc. My idea behind joining MBA at IIM Ahmedabad, at that point of time, I really wanted to become an entrepreneur. So I had this idea of cajobportal.com, which I wanted to take to the next level. And I had no idea, because in our CA course, not much is taught about entrepreneurship, etc. Although entrepreneurship really cannot be taught also in a course, but going on the campus of a B school, you get a lot of vibes about startups. There are like incubation centers in a B school. You can talk to professors, etc. So there, CA Job Portal became quite famous. It became, the impact that it created was profound in terms of the number of students that we had, etc. And therefore, that was my idea, and I have created further videos on this topic: MBA at IIM Ahmedabad, MBA at ISB, etc. You might want to look at those things. Yes, in multiple attempts in intermediary, yes, it will affect in some way, because the period from your graduation to CA that increases. Some people have a specific criteria first attempt in both inter and final, like Vedanta has that criteria. Most people have a criteria only for final, but again, they will set a different criteria that the age should not be more than 23, 24. In that case, if you have taken a lot of attempts in inter, it will become a challenge. Okay, okay, Kaushal. So then anything else that you would want me to cover?
So I want to ask something.
हाँ.
So as we know कि अभी गवर्नमेंट जो भी है सारा जो लाइक टैक्स फाइलिंग वगैरह है या फिर टैक्स असेसमेंट वगैरह है सब फेसलेस कर रही है एंड सब नेशनल लेवल से कंट्रोल हो रहा है. देयर इज नो जुडिशनल एओ और टीपीओ वगैरह. तो सीए का रियली काम कुछ बचा है अब इन टैक्स मैटर्स?
अब तो और बढ़ गया ना. पहले क्या होता था,
लाइक कच्चा पक्का वाला काम बेसिकली करते थे सीएस. तो अब तो वो काम का स्कोप ही नहीं.
प्रॉपर फाइलिंग करना पड़ेगा ना आपको. अभी क्या है, कंपनीज को देखो दोनों तरफ से आपके पास स्कोप बढ़ गया है. एक तो पहले कंपनी सोचता था कि एक बार चलो ठीक है, जैसा भी एक बार रिटर्न फाइल करते हो, अगर स्क्रूटिनी आया तो संभाल लेंगे जाके मिलके. बट अब पता है कि वो वाला चीज हो नहीं सकता. जो है आपका फैक्ट्स, मेरिट्स ऑफ द केस पे, आपका डॉक्यूमेंटेशन के बेसिस पे ही फेसलेस में होगा. और दूसरा क्या है, सब्सिक्वेंटली भी जब फेसलेस का क्योरीज आता है तो उसका रिप्लाई बनाना पड़ेगा. XYZ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट जिसको डोमेन का बहुत अच्छा एक्सपर्टीज नहीं है, वो रिप्लाई नहीं बना सकता ढंग से. सो फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव ऑल्सो वो अच्छा रहेगा ना कि अगर आपको आइडिया है. तो वो बहुत बेसलेस क्वेश्चन है, मतलब कॉन्सेप्ट है कि भाई अरे अब तो फेसलेस आ गया तो सीए के लिए तो स्कोप खत्म हो गया. ऐसा नहीं है. मैंने इसके ऊपर एक वीडियो भी बनाया था. एक्चुअली आपके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज और बढ़ जा रही है अगर आप यंग हो स्पेशली. तो जो लास्ट 30 साल से खाली डिपार्टमेंट के साथ लियाजनिंग के ऊपर अपना करियर चलाया है, तो उसके लिए तो और हालत खराब है उसका, राइट. तो वो वाला स्कोप अच्छा रहेगा.
So sir, from where I can access that video if it's in YouTube or like?
अनुराग सिंघल YouTube में सर्च करना फेसलेस. मेरे चैनल पे अगर तुम जाओगे तो ब्रॉडली तुम लोग के दिमाग में जितना क्वेश्चंस होता है मैंने कवर किया ही हुआ है, क्योंकि 3-4 साल से वीडियो बना रहे हैं हम इसमें, तो बहुत सारा है ही उसमें. ठीक है, ओके देन. थैंक यू कौशल. थैंक यू एवरीवन फॉर ज्वाइनिंग द सेशन. एंड ठीक है फिर.
थैंक यू सर.
हाँ, थैंक यू. चलो बाय बाय.